What's up, everybody, and thank you so much for tuning into 305 Radio, a part of 305 Magazine. Supposed to be on MiamiUndergroundRadio.com, but we're having technical difficulties, so you guys can stream on FiestaHits.com. If not, you can go on our IG at 305 Radio. I'm your girl, Dre Mauve, and you can find me on the gram at 305_Brownie or at Dre Mauve Productions. Shout out to William of Live Say Media Group. You can find him at LMG_Willie, and that's Willie with a Y at the end.
Yes, big boy Will. Damn, Will, where the hell are you, bro? I'm just saying, you need to start showing up, man. Damn it. But either way, my name is George, 305 Magazine. Welcome to 305 Radio, and today our special guest is Miami MC. He's been in the battle scene, started off in the battle rap scene.
Yeah.
And then now he's dropping his own full-length album. That's what he's dropping now?
He dropped.
It's my second full-length. Last one was like 2013. But yeah, man, I've been here for a minute. Sir Charles 1K. Yep. Still go by 1,000. But yeah, it's...
Y'all know him from the battle scene. He used to go by 1,000 Thoughts. 1,000 and just...
That was the original. 1,000 Thoughts, yeah.
See? I'm saying, B. I've known this kid for the longest.
That's crazy. That name haunts me.
I'm telling you.
It's just like, oh, you're 1,000 Thoughts, right? It's like, yeah, it's just 1,000, Sir Charles.
Yeah, man, but like, for those that don't know, man, like, so we used to do MC battles, right? In Miami. And I did it with my homie, 7-Star. And, and we're doing this hip-hop battle, and 1,000 came out of nowhere. Legit. Got his feet dirty, got his hands wet, started, got on stage and did his thing, man. Back then
I think
it was
I was like 21 or something. But that was like me
ago.
going into like you know what I'm saying? Like there was already a scene there, and I was like, all right, let me try to prove myself over here. And I kept going back to these battles. Yeah. And I was telling you before, like the one that I remember was when I battled H, and then the next battle was Recognized, and that was the one and only time a battle Recognized. And he, like,
I didn't last too long.
I feel like everyone in Miami, had to go through him in order to get your even if you won or lost, it's like at the time like
rematch.
No. So were you trying to battle Recognized?
Next on 305
Radio.
Next on
305 Radio, the exclusive announcement.
No, Rec for me was more of like watching him just evolve and do like the MTV shit and everything that was inspiring for me, man, because you saw him get out of Miami, and I was just starting, and like even for like on a more personal level, like my family, like I would try to tell them like, I'm going. They didn't really understand. They don't know hip hop, so they look at it differently. And when I was able to show them Recognize on TV, it was like, like they started to like understand a little bit more what I was trying to do back then.
I feel you, man. You definitely need to see it. That's not something that you can just talk about.
I mean, my family's, like I'm Ecuadorian, Argentine, and we, my parents they weren't raised here, so it's different for them. They're not familiar with what I do. So it's it was hard even to this day, man. They still don't understand, but
it's a tough thing, man. How do you explain hip hop to someone
especially someone like I'm sure a lot of people they see me and it's just like, oh, like he's some white kid. I'm not white. I'm not white for one thing, but a lot of people they see it like that, and that's the way like.
Listen,
just on
sir.
a more like my parents just, I guess, out of being like ignorant towards hip hop and not really knowing, they just chalk it up as like, oh, this is what black people do, and it's just like, nah, man, this is like our culture. This is what we do, man. It doesn't matter, regardless of race or anything, man. Like this is what I grew up into. This is what I know.
I think we all did, right?
Yeah, shit, man. We went through the trials and tribulations, and hip hop, at least for me, it's kind of saved my life in a way.
Yeah, it really did, man. And in the album I have a song called Trapped where I'm just comparing like how hip hop kind of spoke to me and made me want to better myself, like how religion does to a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
And it's I mean, we can't make hip hop a religion, but it's like
gospel, yes we can.
but it does.
Yes, we can.
I mean, you can, what I'm saying, like Mormons existed like not only like 100 years ago or less than that, and started, it's possible. But I'm saying like the point is that like it made me do like what other religions do to people, like want to better yourself and just morals, and it taught me a lot in like just life experiences.
For sure.
Man, this conversation could have gone way down the rabbit hole real quick. As soon as he said, well, it's only been around for like 100 years. Like, I already heard the Twilight Zone coming in. I was like, oh, we're going to go in. We're about to start going in on religion. No, but I'm glad we didn't.
Yeah.
No, but at the end of the day, man,
religion,
I think it's really dope to see that, man, you've come a long way. You've been making music for a long time. And I know you're also part of a bigger crew.
What they do. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
So yeah, what they do is it's a collective of 4 MCs out of Miami. It's me, Orion, Spaz, and Infinite Sweet Jesus. Mm-hmm. We all kind of like linked to make a project. It was on some like Black Star tip where we didn't really plan. It was just a project. We still don't know to this day, like, if we're gonna keep on going with it. Mm-hmm. But it was just intended, like,
keep going with it.
Yeah, we definitely want to, man. It's just, a lot of stuff comes in a factor when you're with a group, But yeah. So it's what they do is a crew. And as of right now, we're promoting the album. It's called Substance Abuse. We got it online on all platforms. We have actual cassettes. Which is one of the
dopest albums I've ever heard. In hip hop.
Drea.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, everyone really came through on that.
Say
man.
that about anyone.
I co-sign.
Have you heard it?
Nah, not yet. So I'm not gonna say yeah, bro. No.
I got it here. I mean, it's on.
No, at this point, I definitely will. Trust me, she's not gonna stop until I do.
Are you familiar with the other MCs on it?
A Spaz.
All right.
That's about it.
Because Orion, I mean, they've all been. Even Inf is an OG, man. Like, he was there. He was battling.
Infamous?
No, Infinite.
No. Okay, no.
So I think there was a battle with him and Jin when, like, I forgot who was throwing it, man, but he goes way back like that.
That's the first Infinite that comes to mind, the dude that battled Jin.
So it has to be the one. I mean, this is like 99
Flaco
probably.
Morenito?
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
He's Cuban Haitian.
Oh, wait a minute. I can go Spanish. Yeah, Fiesta hits.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to what they do, man.
What they do. Yo, let me tell you. So Dre hits me up. She goes, yo, the album. She's like, yo, you going to tonight? Where? Yo, what they do? I thought she was just telling me what they do. I was like, yo, I don't get it, B. All right, peace.
Yo, you know what the funniest thing about it? Like, when I came up with the name, and before anything, it was supposed to be like I was going to make it like a clothing line, like, before any of this was thought of. Mm-hmm. And then, fast forward to, like, us making the first few songs, and we came, like, I told Orion's, like, yo, let's go with what they do. And then we tell Spaz, and Spaz is just like, oh, man, like, it's like, because what they do, that's like some Miami shit, but, like, there's certain parts of Miami that talk like that. And he was just like, yo, it just reminds me of, like, of when I went to high school and all these, like, chonga ass girls would be like, hey, what they do? And
yes, exactly. Yeah.
But that's Miami though. That's the whole reason we named it that.
I think it's a great
name. I love it. I co-sign. Man, Fiesta hits on blast today, bro. The Spanish is happening.
So 2 album releases within a very short period of time. Substance Abuse for what they do, and Chronicles of the Third Born. Tell me about why you named it that.
My album,
and what it
Chronicles of the Third Born. So if you went through the whole album, there's the last song. It's called Keep Living. And the song is, when I wrote it, I was trying to come up with a song, like a dedication to my brother, because he basically introduced me to hip-hop when I was a kid.
Nice. Just
by listening to NWA and Eazy-E, and, around that time.
Fuck yeah.
Like, he used to have, I even say it in the song, like, he had the Mustang, the 5.0, like, that was the hot car back then.
Yes, bro.
And I was, like, in elementary school, he had, like, a big bazooka speaker in his shit, and, like, he used to come through and pick me up.
That's what's
up. And these little kids used to, like, look at me like, you hear Eazy-E.
You don't understand what that little bazooka does, bro.
Oh, you have no idea, man. And, like, so ever since then, like, I've just, I've been into hip-hop. I never turned back. And, I owe that to my brother. So when I first started writing the song, I wrote the first verse. Mm-hmm. And then I just kind of got this idea, and I can't take full credit for it because I listen to Atmosphere a lot. Or I used to. Like, I was a huge Atmosphere fan, a huge Slug fan. And he has a song where he has, like, each verse where it's about, like, the first verse is dedicated to his dad. The second one is him talking to himself, and then the third one is to his son. So I just kind of came with the ideas like, you know, let me make this song like a tribute to like all three of us, like all the siblings, me, my brother, and my sister. And at the time that I wrote it, it was just like a hard time. Like my grandmother had just passed away, and I was trying to come up with a song about my grandmother, but it was still too fresh. Like the wounds were like still open. So I started writing, and I just felt bad, you know. So I was like, I want to write something more positive, and that's how the last song came about. And it's just one of those songs that I wrote within like 20, 30 minutes, like it just happened, you know. And I came up with the title then, like, and that first song I recorded in 2014. So there's a lot of those songs have aged, you know. They're some of them are pretty old, but that's where the name came from. You know,
shout out to the fam, man.
That's the whole thing. Why like Sir Charles came from that too, because I wanted to make it a more personal, like approach to the album. So Sir Charles, it was just more like, that's me, that's my real name, you know, instead of using Thousand. So, you know, Chronicles of the Third Born is just, I wanted to make it more like a little bit more personal about me and just different stories and family issues.
Well, it's a collection of stories, like personal items that
you
collected throughout the years.
What I ended up doing is like the last few songs I recorded, I like balanced it out with like bars and just, you know, like for the hip hop heads that they might not want to hear too much personal stuff. So it has a good balance in my opinion. And it wasn't like that originally. I had a lot of like shit that was like really personal, and some of it was like too deep. Like as time passed, it was hard to listen to it. So I scratched, and it was a lot of songs. It was like 20 something songs, so I had to make it short.
How many songs you got on here? 14.
Yeah, so I was able to trim it down to 14, but it was like 21, 22 songs.
So you calling anyone out on there? Sparking that battle, you know, essence in there?
Not really. There's like, not really, man. I mean, in general.
Subliminal messages.
In general, like I'm saying certain things that were just like, but not really calling anyone out, man. I do say this one thing where I say like in the introduction with what they do, I say I lost the fight, I won the war, this is how I live it up. Because there was I actually got into like a scrap over some battle shit.
Yeah, bro. Well, is anyone surprised?
Yo, but it's just like, that's around that time is when I started like the battle shit. Like I used to love it, man, and the same people that got me into it, that I came up in it with, is the same reason that I can't stand the shit no more, you know. So I had to get away from it because it was like it's too much negative coming from it. Well, and it took away like
you really it's turned into a personal thing, man.
Yeah, because now it's not how it was before. Like now it's like, you know, you're sitting there plotting like your opponent's death for like 2 months and shit, and it's like, and that's cool. Like I'm all for the competition. I love the competition, but you know, when it becomes like your own friends doing shiesty ass shit behind, like it's just, it was too negative for me.
People
man.
take it too personally, huh?
I mean, yo, have you seen these battles?
I have.
Some dude pulled, like, I'm not even gonna start saying names, but you're gonna know this off bat. Homie in the battle starts pulling out pictures of his dad's mugshots. And the whole nine throughout, yo, I would have murdered you.
That shit, I was like, I know exactly what you're talking about. Shit like that, it was like, I don't, like when I battle someone, like I'm battling you, and I'm gonna
but
like,
that's like you taking some shots.
Yeah, and you do it like he did that because he knew that dude is not gonna do shit to him. Yeah, like you don't, which is another like, that's whack.
Let me tell you. For me, look, I love it all. I just think it's super extreme. It's like the extreme sport of hip hop.
You gotta expect repercussions when people.
That's
do
what I'm
shit
saying.
Like
if you
that,
give people time to plot, brother, they're gonna be plotting and planning and dishing up a recipe.
But it just like, to me, it just shows what kind of a human you are. Because like, if you have beef with someone like that, like you're still battling. Like just.
Keep it professional.
I would never like
keep professional, getting professional.
But you know, that's the argument in battle rap nowadays. It's like, oh, anything is, you know, you
but you know what? How about this? I'm ready to call everyone out. How about battle over beats off the top? You have no idea what you're gonna start rhyming with. Who you're gonna
I miss
battle.
that shit, man.
That'll be so ill. Like you're like, all right, you ready for this? All right, so everything you wrote down, throw it down the drain. Because you have to do it over beats, off the top. If
you know how many people would just back out and they like, a lot of these battle rappers, they're strictly battle rappers. Like you can't, you give them a beat, they wouldn't know what to do with it.
I mean, yeah.
Do you freestyle, Thousand?
Why?
Yo, so
Yeah.
I don't know. So you've heard. I don't know if not a lot of people that come on the show like hear a lot of the show at first, but we do this all the time, Bean. So you gotta drop something
On a beat or?
on a
Acapella.
Stick anything. I mean, this isn't that
Beatbox,
battle
beatbox.
thing. I'm not gonna beatbox. My beatbox. Listen,
Let's see.
you've already had a bad day. You don't need me to beatbox.
Let me think, man.
All right, man. Come on.
I'll like rehearse a verse.
Drop
I don't
the
like
verse,
freestyling like on acapella shit, man. Freestyling with acapella, I never.
I can put on some like salsa or reggaeton.
No, I gotta shout. You know what? We keep joking around, but shout out to Fiesta Hits. We're using the
Thank
studio. Yeah, we're gonna poke fun anywhere we go, bro. No, but we doing like you don't got to, man, but it'd be great.
No, I just like rhyming on beats.
Yo, I mean, I appreciate that. Unfortunately, we don't have beats. We don't have any
Next
beats.
time.
Next time.
So before we continue, where can we find you? Where can we find your music? How can we follow you?
So album is everywhere on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Instagram. It's Sir_Charles1K. I'm sticking to that now. I know last
the 1K, the 1,000 in there.
Yo, I got I don't know what happened to my original one, but I had to get a new Instagram. So Instagram be weird sometimes, man. Like I'm not even gonna get into it. But so that's what it is now.
Media
Like,
beef is not existent, bro. Let's not talk about your beef against
it's
Instagram.
I just don't be understanding what they do sometimes, but yeah. So Sir_Charles1K. What else? Yeah, you could just stream my music, on all platforms.
All right.
I still got physical copies for the old heads or for people that still buy CDs or tapes.
Yo, it's
even
like you
we
don't see
got
CDs
cassettes.
anymore.
Can you flash that for the camera?
Where's the camera?
Yeah.
What up, camera?
There it is.
Oh my God! So shout out to Fiesta Hits online. I don't even know.
We're coming in and out of signal, but I hope you guys are catching us on any stream we may be
Well,
on.
in case you are getting us, bienvenidos a 305 Radio.
Fiesta Hits.
Fiesta.
Tell me about this album release party that you had on Friday at Esquina de Abuela, which was
Man, shout
very,
out to
very
Esquina de
special.
Abuela.
Yeah, Esquina de Abuela. That place is on some
On some other ish,
yeah,
huh?
yeah. It's like the
Yes.
dungeon, bro. Like, it's a cool spot, man. But I think it might have affected our outcome because for me personally, man, I have a lot of friends that they're not into this hip hop shit, and just friends I grew up with that would go out to shows if it was in a difference. But this is in the middle of the hood, man. Imagine tell all my we're out in Alapata and it looks like a trap house. It was dope though, man. It's
It was super dope.
it has a very Wynwoodish vibe, bro. It might even be, man. They got a whole Airbnb coming out of there.
Yo, it's a dope spot, man. But I mean, the thing about it is the area. Like you said, that when someone hears that and they're not from that area, they freak out.
Welcome to Miami.
Yeah.
Bienvenido a Miami.
Alabata.
That's man. But I mean, it was a good turnout. It wasn't as many people as I wanted to be out there, and it was kind of I dropped the album and then we booked this venue a few days later. We had less than 2 weeks to promote it, and it was I was the whole time we were promoting this, it was catching up, and we were just never catching up to whatever else we had to do. And but it was it was a good turnout. It was a lot of Miami heads that were out there,
Dope.
a lot of dope MCs. It was dope, man. We're probably gonna plan something else pretty soon. We're not sure what, and but I don't know if it's gonna be Esquina de Abuela or what. But I know Ryan has his album coming out pretty soon. He's doing something with One Take.
Okay.
So we'll see, man. We'll see what's in the works in the near future.
That's dope. I mean, what else is this? So are you gonna do a group project back with what they do after this, or what are you gonna start working
We
on?
intend to, man. We still got to talk about it, man. There's a lot of other things that come into factor. So within the next couple of weeks, actually, we'll probably decide on whether or not.
I keep looking at Drea like she's gonna drop a bomb or something. I'm like, what are you planning here, Drea?
I haven't said said anything.
Because she probably knows. She knows.
Look at that.
things.
She already knows. You can't keep a secret, Dre.
Exclusive.
Apparently, I'm the only one in the room that has no idea, but it's okay. So continue, my friend. Continue.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not going to put too much stuff out there right now because everything's just kind of up in the air. But, I mean, that's what...
What's next for you, though, Charles?
For me, just keep on working on music, man. I already have, like, some ideas of what I want to do with my next project. I kind of just want to lay low for a minute, man. I've recently invested in just, like, my own little home studio, and I kind of want to take things into my hands and just be able to, like, learn everything that right now is just, you know, it's cutting into my time and money. You know, like, every time I record, I have to go all the way down south because there's one person I record with, and, you know, I grew up, I don't know if you remember Obesity back then.
Obesity?
Yeah, he used to, like, so there was
I remember a dude named Obesity. Nah, unfortunately.
It's a big dude, but
I'm saying it's a big dude.
No, back then there was a battle that happened at Blade. I don't know if you ever went.
Nah.
That Blade Barbershop was when they opened up, and the finalist was Parable, Jin, and my friend Obesity. So back then, like, he introduced me to the whole battling shit, and now he's you know, he engineers, he does producing, he's like multimedia. He does like a lot of my music videos too. Mm-hmm. Did the album cover. Dope. But I go to him for everything, and you know, it's just he knows exactly how to make my voice sound and how I want, like, everything to sound. But you know, that's the next step for me, is just learning everything on my own and being able to just take everything into my own hands, and we'll see, man. I mean, I like the whole learning process of, you know, I enjoy just, like, tapping into, you know, production or whatever it is, and just learning about it, you know.
Especially with production, man. It's good to see that even the cats that used to do things back in the day, on some level, haven't left the culture. Like, he went from rhyming and whatnot, and he started working in production behind the scenes. That's the kind of thing that they don't realize that, well, not a lot of people want to acknowledge. Like, we could hate on the city and everyone and the way they support each other, but the fact that a lot of the core people stay in the culture and they start working behind the scenes, give people more opportunities, because now you want to
keep it within.
Exactly, like, you know, you already know if someone's gonna drop an album, you're like, hey man, so you need a mixer, you need someone to mix down your music. I can master it. I've done the classes, you know what I mean? I have the experience. So one of your boys, you can break them off. You keep the money within your circle.
Exactly, you know what I mean? That's pretty much what I mean. As far as, like, a lot of the videos I've been doing is either through him or another homie of mine, Art Morera, which he's another dude that I met in the scene back then when we were battling 2003, 2004, and he's doing the same thing, you know. He does all his own music videos, does all, like, and that's, I want to have my own. I want to be able to, like, manifest my own vision, you know. A lot of times you try to tell people, like, this is what I want for a certain music video or something, and then they don't see it the same way you do, you know.
It's your dream, yeah, of course. Yeah. Absolutely.
So that's, I mean, that's in the works next. It's gonna take a while, man. It's a process, but I think in the meantime I'm gonna be just, like, learning how to, like, mix down, do all my own stuff, and in the meantime just recording.
Dope. Drea is in rare form, my friends, in rare form today. But man, tell me a little bit about production, man, because if you're gonna get behind the scenes, so have you done your own production?
No, I'm not gonna be making beats. I mean,
I'm saying, like, are you just trying to do mix downs, or what are you trying to do here?
Like, recording my vocals and just, you know, learning. No, I'm not. I mean,
say, man, you're gonna join.
You never know.
The ranks of a lot of people in the city.
Somebody might bless me with, like, an MPC one day, and I might just start, like, I know just everything that has to do with music, man. Like, if you put something in front of me, just my curiosity is gonna wanna, like, mess with it and dabble in it, you know. So
I agree.
But I can't do everything. It's like,
yeah, the independent life is tough, bro.
But it's good to have. I mean, I don't see myself rapping forever. You can't be like a 55-year-old rapper, you know. So it's like,
says who?
Hey, no, listen. I'm sorry to tell you, we had Grandmaster Kaz, and I asked Tommy, which, I mean, I hope when you're at that age, you'll be able to rock this the way he did. straight up asked him, yo, so you want to kick, so you used to rap, right? Yeah, we used to rap. What you mean used to? I was like, you want to kick some bars? Homie took a deep breath.
Laid it out.
Gems. Gems. Yo, he's much older than all of us put together. So, I mean.
He's a pioneer, man.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Shout out to Grandmaster Cass. But yeah, B, that's what I'm saying. So if you want to change your mind about kicking them bars.
I mean, I'm sure
I'm just saying.
I could do something, man. Let's
Okay,
think.
okay,
Let's see.
just
Let's
go.
see. Who is that? Smoke and mirrors, yo, we chew your raps, nothing fancy on this hip, but the Ruger strap, better watch what you're doing, stack, know that you's a psycho, this dude ignite your wig like you was Michael, I set flame to your brain like I'm Bigelow, with the heavy metal like the Sandman video, what you figure though, Charlie got so many golden bars, I could live in Willy Wonka's factory until my soul is gone, you know the God gotta come correct, dropping jewels on the floor, that's an ocean with a sunken chest, over your head bars, you don't know what I said, dog, then cover your ears like the logo for Death Squad. 7:30 on the dot, call me Charles Manson. Get me out these padded walls, I got small chances. Who am I, Mr. Motherfucking Do or Die? It's your funeral, it's time for that suit and tie.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
That's on the album.
That's an album. Plugs.
How do you feel about the Miami scene, especially since you've been in the game for such a long time? What you see as far as back then to now?
It's
Here we go.
yeah, I think I think it's smart to get out of Miami, man. Like just to expand. Like we have a cool scene out here, man, but it doesn't get the recognition that it deserves. We have a lot of incredible talent here, man, but for as long as I've been in it, man, like it just, even like I remember when they used to do Rock the Bells, man, like from what I understand, they stopped coming here just because they weren't.
No, they actually, I was really upset at Rock the Bells because let's start with, I got backstage. And then they never came back. No, it was it was an amazing show. You remember Rock the Bells was super dope. The real reason they stopped is because LL Cool J sued them for using the name of his album.
Oh shit!
So he had the song "Rock the Bells." Wasn't that the name of one of his albums?
Yeah, it was an album or a song.
It's a song. It's a song, but I don't know if it was
used,
a title.
I think, way before him, anyways.
No,
No?
he trademarked. It's
Yeah?
his thing. So that show stopped. He was like, "Hey, that's my phrase. You can't use that." So this whole lawyers got in the mix and put a stop to that shit quick.
So now, how do
So
you
they
feel
didn't,
about the Miami scene?
And he won. He recently won the lawsuit.
So they
against
weren't,
them.
but they weren't doing Rock the Bells anywhere.
No, they started. They did it in New York like twice after, and I stopped following them because fuck, man, they never came back to Miami.
Yeah, it was dope though, man. Like
Super dope,
the
man.
2 years that I went was incredible,
It was,
man.
it was the best experience.
Yeah,
And you
it
had
really was, man.
Nas, De La, everyone else, Bob, B.O.B.
I remember when you remember when Black Star came out, and then
Yes.
they brought Common out because he came out with
Yes.
Finding Forever, and I remember it was just like, because they were saying like, yeah, we got a special guest here, and they weren't saying who. And throughout their whole set, I was just like, yo, I hope it's, because at that time, like, I was obsessed with that album, the Finding Forever album.
Oh, yeah.
He came out, I was like, yes, Common. Common's another huge influence on me, man. Yeah.
Yeah, he's an amazing artist. I mean, that show, I ran into Mos Def in the back. I was like, oh my God, Mos Def! I talked to him, yo, he's a big fan, yada, yada, yada. Yo, can I get a picture with you? Nah, B. What? He was like, nah, I'm not into pictures. All right, bro.
Have a nice day.
You know I'll never see you again, right? I mean, nah, man.
Nah.
All right, I respect that piece. Fuck. God damn it. But yeah, Rock the Bells was always awesome. I mean, it was a great fucking show.
What's on your playlist now?
On my playlist?
No. Go back to Miami scene.
Miami scene?
Tell us about the
Miami scene is on my playlist. Actually, yes.
Well played.
A lot of
Touche.
Miami cats are on my playlist, man.
Like
I listen to Serum a lot.
Shout out to Serum.
Serum.
Yo,
yeah,
let me
that's
tell
the
you.
OG, man.
What's that? He's got that on his latest album, yo.
Which is dope.
It's insane.
I
That
listen to
artwork
it when I
is
work out.
bananas. Well, I listen to it just to piss myself off. It just gets me amped up in the morning, man. But the Bombs Over Baghdad track, Bombs Over Baghdad.
On the PCP album?
Yeah, it's the one with the arcade.
I don't know the
game.
names of the songs.
It's got the arcade game. Video.
yeah.
Yo, Serum, that is insane.
Serum, what I love about Serum, he has his
Speaking
own
of-
Yeah, shout out to Serum.
Your
You got the
shirt?
shirt on?
Oh yeah. So yeah, this is a homie Crave. This is what he's talking about,
Yeah.
keeping within. I grew up like a fan of Crave, and he's married to a good friend of mine,
Good.
and so since like 2005 or 6, man, like he actually came out to the show. I hadn't seen him in years.
Shout out to Crave. Made
But
it
Crave
out.
is another one. You know, he's doing big things. You can see his art. He has a bunch of murals like all over Miami.
A lot of dope murals out, man.
Yeah,
Like, it's tough to interview him.
yeah. He's I mean, he's put a lot of work in though, man.
Exactly, that's why. Because he works like an animal. The guy is dope. Really dope. Shout out to Crave.
Yeah, real humble dude, man. Real humble.
So yeah, man, you got a lot of Miami cats. You got Serum. Who else do you listen to?
Obviously what they do, you know, but individually, even like all three of them, you know,
Okay.
I listen to a lot of Orion shit. I listen to Spaz, Infinite. I've been listening to a lot of Mowgli stuff, like, you know, Mowgli. Yeah, he's like maybe one of the better spitters in Miami, man. Like he has a good balance of just lyrics and, you know, like the more like street shit that you would want to hear. Just a good balance of,
Okay.
I don't know, you know, you remember Dub P back then.
Yeah.
So he was part of Dub P.
Okay. And then I definitely heard him.
He's been on one of the shows you were here when he was on.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
He's half wolf. He actually looks like a wolf.
Yeah, he's
He is
something
a
else.
wolf.
He's something else.
Yeah.
Shout out to the wolf pack.
He's wild, man. He's another. But
So,
yeah, there's a lot of Miami stuff. I listen lately. We listen to a lot of Dave East, man.
Dave East.
Dave East,
Okay.
he's another one for me that's like on some like a good balance of boom bap and kind of like trap beats.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but dope shit, you know, like that's what he's doing right now is kind of like the kind of beats I want to jump on next.
So you're already thinking of your next project?
Yeah, man. I mean, I want to evolve into something else, man. Like this album, I'm super proud of it, but a lot of the songs are pretty old, you know, and I mean, I still love them as much as I did when I first made them, but I feel like creatively I'm somewhere else right now. And, you know, a lot of people, they don't, you know, because they don't know that this is, like half of this album is from like 2016,
Man, let me tell
2018, 19.
You can't, don't even, like, you don't even gotta justify shit with that, man. Because to be honest, we had a guest that he's put out music and he was kind of in the same road you are. And he's one of my favorite quotes of that interview. He said, he goes, "Yo, great music's timeless."
Yeah, that's what I always say. It was like,
That's why.
like when I could notice like this, the last song, "Keep Living," that's my favorite song on it. And like as years went by, like I hear it, I'm just like, just ages like a fine wine, man. Like it sounds
That's
great,
how you know
man.
it's good music, bro.
And it's just there's certain songs that you know, like when you're coming out of your soul with the shit,
Yeah.
and like you're not putting any thought into it. Even if people like, those are the type of songs that have the most self-satisfaction for me. So it's like, even if people are just like, yo, I don't like that, it doesn't matter to me, man, because it took a lot for me to like even bring that out, and that to me is just, that's the reward. Anything else on top of that is like the icing on the cake for me.
Of course, man. I agree 100%.
So that's, you know, I like doing a little bit of both, man. I like doing but I have to keep the balance just to remind people I could still spit, and I'll just spit bars at you.
I looked at the cover, I looked at the back, and I was like, maybe he put in code. He's calling someone out. Like, if you use this first letter of each title, bitch, I'm calling you out.
Nah, I didn't get that deep into it.
I mean, yeah, I just expected the worst first, bro. That's why I asked, are you calling anyone out, bro? Because since coming back from a battle background, bro, it's just one of those things that I think, I love MC battles. It's I've always loved it. And then with the leagues and whatnot, I've always watched them. Then they got mad disrespectful. We spoke about that.
Yeah,
and that whole thing kind of turned me off to it. But the fact that you could tune into it and just catch really dope MCs putting in some good work and effort into some dope bars. Like I love that, and knowing that you had that background. Like I look forward to listening to you.
Or even if it is a grudge match where you genuinely don't like the person, as long as they're good sports about it. Like I always love seeing that. Like when people have like genuine beef with each other, and then afterwards, like even though they're in each other's faces, they dap each other up,
right.
and they're just, that to me is like, that's how it should be.
Well, yeah.
A lot of people just get in their feelings and just like, it doesn't get resolved after. It just makes
especially
it worse.
here in Miami, right?
Man.
Yeah, man. I've had that experience too. I've had grudge matches where like it didn't settle anything. It just made it worse,
Yeah, fact.
But it's, that battle's like right now, it's like I still love it, but I can't. I mean, there's too much of it now, so it's like I can't keep up with it for one thing, and it's too time consuming. It's like I follow certain battlers now, I don't really follow how I used to.
No, I know, and I and that's why I bring it up, man, because that's something that you eventually, like, the busier you get, like everything else in your life starts thinning out. You know what I mean? But that's the thing about music, seeing the evolution of it. And the point I'm trying to make is that, from my point of view, I feel like I've seen so much progression in your work, seeing from where you come from, where you came from, to where you're at now. You dropping this is your second project.
Thank you,
plus
man.
You got
that's the point. Like that was, I felt like the battle when I was doing it, it was like I was in it during the time, so I was just going with the emotion of it. But now looking back is like I felt like it was stunning my growth as an artist, man, because I was so focused on just like they would book a battle and it's just like, for one thing, we're not getting paid. Like it's your own people throwing this. You see your friends getting bread from just throwing the event, but they don't want to break you off. And it's just, so that's just one of the things that just like turned me sour. Just like, yo, like you're flying out these random known like bigger names from other cities like New York just to bring some more attention to the league. Meanwhile, your own homies are, they're putting their time in and nothing's coming from it. And it got to a point where like I was focused so much on it that I wasn't doing anything with my music, and I wasn't able to like grow as an artist, man. Like I was just too focused on battle rap, and the deeper I got into it, the more negative was coming out of it. So eventually I just like took a step back and I was just like, yo, let me just leave this, because even like there's it's a new generation now, man. It's a much younger kids, and I feel weird just going up against like a 22-year-old kid. It's just like, what do I, and not on some like cocky shit, but like what do I have to prove to somebody like that? It's like I've been doing this for years, and even if he's dope, it's like, all right, but like make your own path,
Come on, little buddy.
Come on, little buddy.
And if it makes me feel like I'm going back down to that level.
I mean, but the fact that you actually had to step back, look at what you were doing, and come to the self-realization that it was stunting your growth. That is growth. You know what I'm saying? That's like breaking out of the pot. Like a plant breaking out of the pot, so that's really dope.
And it's
that's like an evolution.
The way things worked out with me, like in battle, it was kind of like a blessing in disguise, man. Because I didn't bow out like on some like, it was beef, It was like there was beef that I was just like, yo, this is like, it's stupid, man. Like I'm a grown ass man and I'm dealing with this little kid shit, I wanted to get the fuck out of it.
And you're like, yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, man. It was very childish, man, and I just felt like it was just making me like lower. It was making me lower my standards as like a human, man. It was just like I couldn't, I wanted to get out of it, and it was hard for me to like do anything positive, man, because I was surrounded by like just negative energy.
Jesus, man, like you
and it's
do it. Yeah, PTSD.
Like it's just the irony of it, because I used to, back when I met you, and like I was all about battle rap. That's all I did, man. And even I went through every era, even with like the acapella version of battle rap. Like I fell in love with it, man. Like when Grind Time first came out, I used to watch it just like dreaming of being on it. And the first few years when I got into it, it was amazing. But the more you get into it, it just becomes more of a job and less of like a passion. And it becomes like kind of, you know, like repetitive, if you're not like progressing and you're not, you know, you're not upping your rank, then it's just like, all right, it's like you're walking in quicksand.
Well, and that's the beauty of everything, man. So I'm glad to see that you put out an album. You started straying away from everything, and you're actually looking for growth. You know what I mean? Not only as an artist, but shit, you're trying to do things independently. You know?
Yeah.
Speaking of, you mentioned that you like the Dave East beats, and you're thinking of kind of evolving and kind of seeing where your creativity is at now. Can we expect your style to change? Are you trying to evolve in the way that you deliver, or are we always going to have kind of like that classic boom bap?
I mean, I'll always have that's what I grew up on, man. I don't want to like steer away too much from, because I do what I do. This is, you know, like I grew up on a certain style, but I like to rap different ways, man. I like to, like, there's a song on my album called Give Me My Flowers, where I'm rapping more like on some double time, like fast spitting, and like I like rapping on beats like that. It's fun, and surprisingly they're easier for me to write to, because it's just more of a flow. You're not, you know, like you're just kind of flowing your words, so it's easy. You don't have to think too much
about it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's like I really like, I enjoy rapping on beats where you have to like do a double time kind of thing. So I mean, I'll mix it up, man, but I'll always stick to my roots.
Y'all don't even know what's up with Dre today, yo. Jay, you're on another cloud today, yo. So, real quick, man. If you have any favorite producers in the city, local producers that you haven't worked with that you're looking forward to?
Aside from people I work with, or
someone you have not worked with?
I know there is, man. It's just I'm drawing a blank right now.
Producers or even artists that maybe you want to collaborate with in the near future?
Artists, yeah, man. That's another thing that I want to work on too, man. I've always been just like stick to like my own thing, but there's a lot of artists that I'd want to work with. Mowgli's one of them, man. I like working with people that really like challenge me, you know, and he's one of them, because he's dope, man. So like, you know, everyone obviously what they do again, like, but that's gonna happen regardless. I would think another one of my favorite MCs out here is Omniscient. I think he's really dope.
Shout out to
Omniscient's really dope. Yeah, he's
literally
fire,
everywhere right now. he's in Europe.
Yeah, man.
Europe
He's
right
in
now.
Europe now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to
That's
shout
dope.
out to
Shout out to and Danielle.
Yeah. Pop couple.
There's a lot of cats that stop rhyming that I would want to hear him again, man. I was on Shotty has a podcast now.
Yeah, I was on there.
And
Human Sushi.
Go
yeah.
check it out, guys.
Super dope, man. I
Human
love it.
Sushi, yeah, man. He's but you know, when I was growing up,
Yo, but he
like in
ain't
the
stop
early
rhyming,
2000s, huh?
He ain't stop rhyming though.
But he's not really like putting
Still
music
dropping,
out.
he's still, yo.
I think he has something in the
I
works.
can't help but this dude ain't
Yeah.
talking like he's really on some DL shit. Like,
Yeah.
Shotty, if you're listening to this, I don't believe you, son.
For real.
I
He's
know
just
for a
gonna
fact
come out of the
he's-
I know
woodwork.
it's coming, and you better bring an exclusive to 305
I
Radio.
mean, yeah, B. Come on.
He's have you heard he has an album that he goes under Slim Floyd, an alias Slim Floyd.
No.
He has these two songs, man, that they're not like, he's not spitting, it's just like on some blues, like just like some dancing type shit, but it's so dope, man. Like I'll show you them afterwards, but that kind of like, you could just dance to that shit, bro, and it's something different that he would normally do.
Dope.
You know. What else? Who else? There's a lot, man. I mean, I'm always about building and shit. Those are the ones off the top of my head that I could think of. My homeboy Bully Banger, he produced the song called Trapped on the album. We have some stuff in the works. It's been kind of like laying low about it. He's another one that's like, he needs to get himself out there, man. It's not like because he's a homie of mine, but he's incredibly talented just in everything he does, man. And his beats are just, to me, they're like unmatched, man. So I think I owe it to just both of us. He got me into this, you know. He got me into like freestyling when I was in high school, and like, you know, so it's kind of, you know, it's long overdue, man. We definitely need to get on the album.
Dope.
So, but he's kind of another one that's just kind of like in the background. He don't like coming out like too much, and but he's talented, man.
Well, shit, man. That's really dope. I mean, I think we're running out of time, though.
What time is it?
It's 9
Do
something.
you have any further questions?
I mean, I think he's answered everything. He even dropped some bars for us.
Is there
Shout out
any
to
advice
Grandmaster
that
Kaz.
maybe you want to give our audience, especially those local artists or aspiring artists that are out there?
Any advice? Just keep doing your thing, man. Just ignore, like, regardless of what happens, like, I feel like everything you do, whether you get the expectation that you expect or not, like, you just have to always keep on moving, man. Like, you never know what comes out of whatever you do, man. So if you have a passion for something, man, just follow it, and, you know, just stay on top of your thing, man. Like, just keep doing your thing. Cop the What They Do album.
There you go. Where could they find your music at, man?
So the Chronicles of the Third Born, you could find it on all your streaming platforms, Apple Music, iTunes, Amazon, Spotify. I have it on SoundCloud too. We also have physical copies you can get at me directly. Same thing for the What They Do project, man. You can find it anywhere. You can just Google it, man. Just type What They Do. Chronicles of the Third Born.
Definitely Miami's
there,
going to
man.
come up.
Can you
as soon
spell
as
that
you
out
put that.
for some people, please?
Spell what they do.
Yeah.
So What They
You know what I
Do.
mean?
Yeah, and follow the IG too, man. It's what WHUT.DEY.DO.
What they do.
What they do. We don't spell nothing right.
Miami life.
Any shout outs you want to give before we go?
Shout out to y'all, man. Thank y'all for bringing me out here.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming, man. Yeah, so What They Do to everybody, man. Everyone in the Miami scene and our local hip hop scene, everyone listening. Shout out to myself for this album, you know.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it's dope, man. I'm really, really proud of
Thank
you.
you, man. No, on some serious tip,
Good
man.
job.
Like,
Hope
thank
to
you.
see a lot
Appreciate
more
it.
I'm
coming
glad
from
that
you.
you're making moves, man. Especially seeing, it's been a long time since I see you. So it's dope.
Thank you,
it's
man.
really good.
And I reunited you guys. Before we go, I do have to thank everybody for listening all over the world. Where do we have people streaming from, George?
Yo, we have, ironically enough, we have Ecuador, Central America. There's more places in Central America. Costa Rica, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Panama,
Japan.
Yo, Japan, China.
Word?
If you're in Japan and China, yo, share this shit. Put your friends on this. We let me tell you, we have a lot of people in Miami-Dade County. If I check the stats now, I'm gonna kill the live stream. But it's pretty interesting, seeing the outreach we have here.
So even with the technical difficulties, like, it still reaches out to the same
Even
people?
with technical
Listen, man.
difficulties. And since we are broadcasting from Fiesta Hits today and we're kind of
Can we do
going
it in
in and
Spanish?
out, we will let you guys know where you can stream our podcast. George, let them know where they can find the
Well,
audio.
listen here. This is for 305 Radio, wherever you hear all podcasts, any kind of music, any streaming service, Spotify, Google Play, Apple iTunes, Apple Podcasts, wherever you hear us, go ahead and rate it. Put a 5-star. Put a thumbs up. Hit the
Nothing
share
less.
button. Hit the share button. If you tell 2 people to tell 2 people,
to tell to
and
other
they
people.
tell 2 people, let me tell you how many people will have heard our podcast. Many people. So
And you guys can follow us at
Everywhere.
305 Radio on the gram. Make sure you guys also check out at 305 Magazine on the gram.
both of them are pretty dope. And let me tell you, we have pins now. 305 Radio pins.
Show them the pins.
You got pins.
We
I'm
got
wearing
pins,
pins.
yo.
Bam.
So, 1,000. I'm sorry. I'm always gonna call.
People are always
I'm
gonna-
sorry,
that's-
bro.
Yeah, that's gonna stick. That's for sure.
It's
like,
Sir Charles.
yeah,
Sir
you can't
Charles.
Sir Charles.
Sir.
Let me tell you. So, Sir Charles, go ahead and pick. You can take one of those pins now that you're
Oh, all right.
one of
I
the
mean, I was
first
gonna
guests
take
with
it
the
anyway.
pin, yo.
So.
You are our
Hey,
first
thank you,
guest
man.
with a
Thank
pin.
Yeah, pretty much.
Guys, and before we go, I gotta remind you that Take Flight Mondays at
DBD.
G5 is going down tonight. Day by day lifestyles. You can catch them on the gram at DBD_Inc. We got open mic night every Wednesday, 7 p.m. at Tea and Poets in Sunset Place. That's in South Miami. If you guys want to go check it out, all types of talents and all ages are welcome. We also got Fast Money Fridays at PT's. So So make sure you guys have a blessed week. Charles, thank you so much for joining us.
Yo,
Thank
Sir
you for having me,
Charles.
man.
Like,
Sir
thank
Charles,
you for,
sorry,
thank
sir.
you for blessing us with your presence, Sir Charles.
Sir Charles.
To everybody listening, thank you so much. You guys can catch us here at 305 Radio, normally on MiamiUndergroundRadio.com. Shout out to Fiesta Hits.
Fiesta Hits, el número uno en Radio 305.
And we will be here Monday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard
Yo, and follow us everywhere. Social media. Share this shit. Tell your friends to tell their friends. And share it on your social media. Go ahead and hit it on Facebook. Hit it on Instagram, Twitter, everywhere.
Everywhere.
Thank you very much.
Peace, y'all. Appreciate y'all, man.